social media is a very big tool. Whether it's used for the right, it can help a lot to get a message across and start a whole movement for change. But where it's misused, like any other thing which we have, it can be a very dangerous tool to spread propaganda and extremism as well.
Social media plays a critical role in helping us to find out more about each other. Often social media can be hijacked and used or abused in ways that don't help us as people or as society.
Extremist groups have become very clever now with social media. They can understand how it works, probably a bit better than other members of society. So what we're seeing now is they're using sort of catch-all statements and things that most people agree with. So with the far right, you're seeing things such as supporting our troops and a respect for the people fighting for England, and which most people in this country agree with. So they'll like that picture and they'll share it with their friends because they want to show their support for the armed forces. What they don't realise is that by doing that, they're signing up to an extremist group. So then they start showing other updates where their propaganda and ideology is feeding your Facebook feed. Most people find that abhorrent, but then it gets those small amount of people that are vulnerable and go, actually, if I agree with troops, then maybe I should also agree with these other points of views.
Well, basically, I've seen a lot of stuff on social media of people making Muslims feel really bad about what's going on in other countries and making them feel like they're not doing enough. And through there, then they get people to like their pages, and then they put out more talks, and slowly you see step-by-step radicalization, and then people start making contact. Once they start making contact, they go to other circles and go and chill out with these preachers, and before you know it, this person's either disappeared or is getting involved in this country and getting into a lot of trouble. And usually this road turns out quite nasty, because you either end up in prison, you end up going abroad and doing something silly, or you're not even obeying your religion. And a lot of people feel a bit emotional. They want to really follow Islam, but these people are taking them down the wrong route. So following these people, you're not exactly following your religion. Because if it's not good, it can't be Islam.
I think the main purpose is to, if we humanise a belief, if you start talking to somebody, either on the phone or internet, and you actually realise these people are human, they're like you, very quickly you could get a relationship going with someone and to draw them in to your ideology, and you can transfer information, you can give them tips on what sites to look at, you can direct them to historical sites about British history which is pro your belief. So it's all about masking the entity, which is basically violence, with reasons why it has to be violent, and that violence is the only option we have.
When groups or individuals use social media for negative purposes, we must learn to ask questions about that to try and understand what is really happening there. When people share difficult views, then we must ask questions as to where those views come from and what do they mean by that. But I think one thing that we absolutely cannot do is accept things at face value.
These days with sort of collectivist campaigning, where you just get involved online, it's very easy to accidentally get involved with something you might not wholly agree with. So just with the internet, it's very easy just to Google, find out a few blogs, find out some articles on the group, and then see a sort of a wide range of views on their activity and decide whether that campaign's right for you before you commit to getting involved in one of their campaigns.
My advice would be to young people to stay away from the social media accounts which promote certain extreme views, because all they'll do is try to brainwash you or get you into trouble. And there's a lot of legal guidelines as well about sharing some of the content that these groups put out. So whether it's videos of them conducting some violent acts or stuff, there's legislation in place which can get you into trouble.
The biggest thing we all have is choice. No matter what anybody says to you, you don't have to choose to believe it. You don't have to choose to act it out. And it's a lesson at school we need to have. is about choices. Because with our choice, especially at a young age, will direct the rest of your life. And if you make bad choices in your life, there is a consequence to that. And it's a consequence that will stick, it will never go away. Not only will you destroy your own credibility, your own chances of having a successful life, you'll also hurt the ones that are closest to you and bring them down with you.